Kris, just maybe take us through the thought and the feeling of going down with the split, and what do you feel most comfortable and most positive about the team's game right?
Well, I'm very happy with the guys, how they came out yesterday and knew the importance of yesterday's game. Coming back to Edmonton down 2 would have been very difficult against this team. I think we've responded really well after losses for the most part, and we knew we needed a good effort to get that win. And there's a lot of things I liked. Definitely liked the fact that we won the special teams battle in Game 2 with a power play goal, and penalty kill looked good. Obviously, Stuart Skinner's play has been tremendous. The 3 of the 4 games is an understatement. And then, getting contributions from everyone, and everyone digging in and playing pretty well.
When it comes to the penalty kill, what was the biggest difference that you noticed that your team executed last night compared to Game 1?
Well, I think we were on our toes, and we were able to break up some more plays in the offensive zone, or their offensive zone. Stu made a couple big saves, especially shortly after the McDavid 2-on-1. They had a slot shot there, and maybe a couple other shots. But, I just think everyone after you give up a game like that and have a couple goals go in, confidence usually drops. I think Mark did a great job picking the guys up and making sure that they were focused on what they needed to do.
Can you maybe talk about the overall collective buy-in right now? Because you talk about contributions from everybody. Each line is seemingly playing to its identity. It's one thing for the coach to be able to push the buttons. It's another thing for the players to make sure those buttons are working for you.
My job's easy. I'm not pushing many buttons. The players know what's important. They're a mature group, and they know what's at stake right now, and they want it very badly. So I'm just, it's a very pleasure to have this team to coach, because they're very focused.
It's easy for people to make comparisons to last Western Conference final to this one. What have you seen that's different about this series between these two teams?
Well, I think the teams are very similar, how they're made up. There is some player personnel that's been changed a little bit, so far in the series. The one thing that we dominated the first year was the special teams. Definitely got through the series through that special teams. I'm not sure exactly what the goals for and against were, but they were heavily out-favored us. And now this hasn't been the case at all in the first 2 games. So I would say that's the biggest difference.
It's 5-0 last year, special teams for you. It's 3-2 right now. So, but 2 games in less than 2 days. Is there any consideration, not that you want to break up a winning formula, but to perhaps consider, maybe putting a different player in, given that it is a tight window for the game back at Edmonton?
Well, it's a tight turnaround. Obviously, we just played last night. Haven't been able to catch up with our coaching staff. When we meet, we'll discuss that. It's something we know that we can insert. We have some good players that can. They're good hockey players, and there's the aspect of adding some of that energy, which would be helpful. But there's also sticking with the lineup that won. So I don't think we could lose whatever, or not lose, but I think there's positive both ways going.
Sorry about that, Kris. What do you think is the biggest cog that makes the overall wheel turn in terms of defending this Dallas team, especially in the transition at 5-on-5?
Just getting 5-man unit out there checking well. It's not it's not that we have to concentrate on one line that's dangerous. They've got 3, if not 4 lines that are very dangerous who can score, especially off the rush. Is something they really have excelled at in the last, at least 2 years that I've been here watching Dallas play. So that's something we have to be aware of, is how we defend the rush and not giving them odd man rushes.
It looks like your guys' team physicality is also kind of ramping up as almost series progress. How much does that help you? Or how much do you see those as investments in terms of the longer portions of the series in games 5, 6, and 7?
Well, absolutely. I think we got a lot of players who are physical and don't shy away from that, but also you need guys who can skate and get there in time to make those hits. And, certainly adding Kapanen, he's been doing that. Podkolzon's always been doing that. Hyman has really stepped it up. But I think everybody's been chipping in with that physicality. Obviously, Evander Kane has been doing that. So, hopefully over the, probably not winning you a game that night with the physicality, hopefully it pays off over the course of a series.
On the Dallas side, Matt Duchene has talked about the highs and lows of a series. You win a game, you feel like you're going to win out. You lose a game, you feel like you're never going to win again. How do you kind of manage those highs and lows with your team?
Well, I think we draw on the experience that we had last year. We had a lot of ups and downs, and we certainly felt like that. And, immediately after a loss, we feel down and can we ever beat this team? But, I think the most important thing is just you have a short-term memory, and just no matter if you win, played an outstanding game or lose, and no matter what fashion it was in, you just got to be prepared for the next game.